All right, this is A Graceful Watchman. I have a forum or discussion to talk about here. Now, to summarize it, me and can I use your first name?
Yes, of course.
Me and Colin have been, I'll say, fellow researchers and good friends for the past 5 or 6 years. And so recently, he has decided, I mean, maybe not recently, but within the last year, maybe, or whatever, has decided that he does not wish to keep fighting, at least on this side. Okay, I had feedback there. Anyways, and he has decided to not fight on this side that obviously many of my subscribers are on, and he's decided to basically switch sides. He has joined a mystery school, the Ancient Order of Hibernians, and it um, has expressed his wishes to join Freemasonry. Now I'm gonna let Colin say what he has to say about what I said.
Okay. Hello, everyone. Yeah, as I said, myself and Michael Sasser, the Grateful Watchman, we've been friends for I'd say about 4 or 5 years now, and it was in the last year myself that I was dealing like of a lot of stuff you could say spiritually, because what originally happened is how me and him met. Um, I was just basically what I realized I was just following him as, let's say, a lapsed dog over the years. Like a lot of the beliefs that he holds, I wouldn't hold personally. So it was only within the last year which I started to actually delve into the Illuminati as a whole and actually read the material that I realized that it isn't a battle between Lucifer and Satan. It's actually between the intellect of man. And I realized through long consideration and studying different people I've talked to that man is inherently stupid, and the only true way for man to actually progress in knowledge is to have a select few people who, let's say, I could use the term smart enough at the time to guide man as through. Well, I'm quite bad with words, but just basically the best way to put it is that, as I said, man is inherent. I believe man in its common state is inherently stupid, and it's only through a select few that it'll be able to rise up and become a whole again. You know, but myself and Sass have been, as I said, friends for a good long way. And as I said, I told him in December that I was going off to join the Ancient Order of Hibernians, and the reason why I joined the Ancient Order of Hibernians was because at the time I believed in preserving my culture, and which it is. It's an Irish secret, well, I'd say Irish society based around revolutionary times. So it's, in a sense, it can be a patriotic society, but unless you know the real terms of how it works, the Ancient Order of Hibernians as itself is like a you know what? I'm just rambling, so I'm just going to let Sass continue, and then when this discussion takes off, I'll just start explaining myself a lot better. Anyway, so
No,
go
go
ahead.
on
No, go,
explaining the Ancient Order of Hibernians.
oh, okay. No, because I'm just rambling here. But anyway, the Ancient Order of Hibernians, from what I've talked to them, what I believe in, and they believe in preserving Irish culture. And as I said, over the last 20 to 25 years, before I was even born, because I'm only 20 years old, but the youth of today do not have a lot of interest in preserving their own culture. Because if you talk to any guy in Ireland or any young person, the average Joe, they have no interest in learning the Irish language or preserving any form of the Irish culture whatsoever. So that's what the Hibernians are dedicated towards. Yes, you could say they're connected to Freemasonry and so forth, and they will say that themselves. They believe in communion between all societies because they believe the only way for Ireland to become united is through peaceful process and for everyone to put away their differences and join together in communion with one another. So let's go through the Orange Order. or Freemasonry, or the Theosophical Society, the Rosicrucians and so forth, which have all had a big hand in it. But like the reason why I joined the Ancient Order of Hibernians is because I've learned through studying their own writings and so forth that a lot of the AOH have got rid of the rituals and traditions. Like when I joined, they didn't even give me a full initiation ritual. They like skipped a lot of it because these guys are in their 40s, 50s, and 60s and just have no interest whatsoever in preserving the society as a whole. Yes, there might be a good few people up there, but it's the terms of intellect and so forth are progressed. Like the average member of any society just think it's a social club, and it actually really annoys me to see this once great society, which is rich in history and full, of Irish revolutions and so forth, just die. And that's why I joined in the end the Ancient North Hibernians, because I believe in helping preserve it. That's the main reason, really.
So you expressed that man is too stupid to govern himself, right?
Yes, he is.
So wouldn't that have to do with man is too stupid to create his own culture, yet the Ancient Order of Hibernians is trying to preserve Irish culture, or so they say?
Well, this is the thing. Like you can create. It's quite easy to create culture, but preserving the culture is something else entirely. You know, it's all down to individual preference.
You
Yes, man
think
is.
preserving culture will, the New World Order will preserve culture?
Yes, I believe it. Actually, to be honest with you, I do believe it will. Though obviously there's going to be some alterations which are needed because you can't have every single culture crammed into one another. But at the same time, like I could bring up the aspect of Christianity and so forth, the way Christians go around trying to convert people. Why would you go around trying to convert someone to your religion without fully understanding their religion anyway? Like what my main point that I'm putting across is that what you should do is you should study all different aspects of religion, and before you even like on trying to convert someone to your religion, you should learn the classics like Latin and Greek and so forth, and actually understand the interior workings of your own faith before you go out and express it to others. That's the same with Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, uh, Rastafarianism and so forth. Like you need to have the core values put in place before you believe in preserving anything. Because that's the thing when it comes to the ancient or Hibernians and Irish culture, I'm still learning. I plan on learning Irish, hopefully, in the next 2 years, because then I'll be able to express it a lot more. Because the way the OH works is they have divisions. Yes, they have a lot of divisions within where I'm from, Derry, Northern Ireland, but after, because the divisions have lost a lot of support and funding over the years, so a lot of them have collapsed. So there's only one division left, which is Derry Division 1, which is the head office for the Ancient Order Hibernians worldwide, which I'm a member of. Uh, and as I said, a lot of the guys there, like I was talking to one of the members there about 4 weeks ago. Actually, no, was it 4 weeks? No, I think it was about 3 or so weeks ago. Anyway, it was back in February. But what happened was that I was chatting to him, and I was chatting to him about the history of the OH and how to get information on it. And I realized that this guy he was just a drunkard, literally. I was sitting talking to him while he was putting money into a slot machine and gambling. This is how much of interest this guy really has, and he's been in it for years. Like I understand that you have to be a select few to get up to the higher levels, but this is the thing people don't understand. You're not born with intellect. You have to earn it through hard study and consideration, which man, as I said, in his current state, have had no interest in. All they want is to drink and party, which is very sad.
That's not true.
It
There's a
really is.
select bloodline of people who are at the very top of these organizations. These people don't care about culture of any nation, and you can't preserve a culture of any nation without having that sovereign nation as a sovereign state. There's nothing to preserve it after that if everything is a melting pot. How immigrants came to America and then they were under one nation or even one state or colony. The German culture, when the German immigrants came, wasn't preserved. The Italian culture wasn't preserved within America, or the Irish culture in America wasn't preserved because they're under one sovereign state. And now, if everyone is under one world order, how is a country going to be preserved with open borders, open immigration? laws have to be written in multiple languages at this point, or maybe one unified language will be created, or one religion implemented, which many cultures of the world are tied to their religion. So how will a new world order preserve culture? That's the opposite of what these people believe. And what these people believe is they don't care about any culture except their own mystery religion. They don't care about any race except their own because they have been intermarrying with each other for thousands of years. So they're their own race. They don't care about any other culture except their own because they have their own select race and ethnicity because they've been intermarrying for thousands of years. They're not white, Jew, or black. They're their own race at this point because they've been intermarrying in their bloodlines for years.
I'm sorry, but you like cut out a lot through that, but I understand the gist of your discussion. But you started like getting feedback and so forth. You started lagging. But no, I do understand what you're saying. But like, yeah, you have to understand, right? That the average Joe that joins Freemasonry and so forth, as you know yourself, and many of your subscribers and so forth know nothing about the organization. My main point is, why would you join an organization that you know nothing about or are not willing to study? Because I was emailing there before you actually joined the chat. I was emailing one of the senior members of the Masonic Lodge in my city, and like he's an interest in meeting me and so forth because I'm actually interested in studying in the Masonic history and stuff like that. But like he even says the only way to, like, yes, that it may be true, they have their own bloodline, and but the thing, my point in pulling across is the only way to keep any society going is to get young people in, and actually have people dedicated into preserving it and getting it going. Because I understand Masons, they treasure intellect, and intellect is very important because if you don't have intellect, you cannot, what's the word? Be a free thinker. Because as I said, even yourself, Sass.
Who gets access to the intellect?
What?
Who gets access to the intellect?
Who gets access to the intellect? Yourself, and then you help the society as a whole.
So just a select few of people get the intellect.
Yes, a select few people get the intellect at this time. Yes.
So didn't you say that you want to progress man's evolution?
Yes, I did say. Well, I didn't say that exactly, but I said something similar to that. If you have my actual, if you still have the text chat there, I'm happy enough for you to read it out.
But you said that you want to preserve the knowledge of man.
Yes, I do want to preserve the knowledge of man because, yes, that is correct.
But only a select few of people get this knowledge?
Yes, only at this time, yes, only a select few people
at this
get
time?
this knowledge. Yes, at this time.
Okay, so when can everybody have the information? Not being killed because they have certain information.
When will people well, I can't answer that question, can I?
Why not? It's your beliefs.
Yeah, well, that's like putting yourself up against the wall. You can't answer a question like that because you would have to ask a lot of people before you get an answer like that.
So it's okay to kill people because they figured certain things out.
Well, you could say that about anybody, but the thing is, I'm not saying yes or no. I'm kind of neutral on that point myself.
But that is what you people do.
Yes, I'm aware of that. I don't openly promote it.
But you wish organizations that do it. And you want to preserve this organization.
Yes.
That has ruined countless lives.
Yes, but that's how you progress in the world. That's the only way it's going to work, really.
That's how you progress in the world. How?
Listen, if people aren't willing to conform and actually use their brains, like, what am I to say that they are, like, it's a in a sense they're worthless pieces of meat in the end if they will not use their brains.
Burdens and stakes on the table.
You could use Cooper's quote on that, yeah, if you want.
It's not Cooper's quote. It's from Silent Women's for Quiet Wars. document published by the Bilderberg Group.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah, I know.
Cooper's words.
I read the exact same document.
It's y'all's words.
Yeah, I know. I've read the exact same
Cooper
document.
quoted from what you guys say.
Yeah, I know. I've read the exact same document.
So that's what people are. They just beats of burdens and stakes on the table.
Yes, at this time they're just
people's lives don't matter. What's the point in preserving the intellect and preserving knowledge if the who will eventually at some time, you say in the future, get this knowledge, their lives don't matter? What's the point?
Their lives do matter. I never said they didn't. Like, it's
their
just
lives matter. So when you create a civil war in Syria that's killed hundreds of thousands of people, their lives matter.
Look, I'm not in charge of that, so I can't say anything on that. You
to preserve and defend an organization that does that.
Yes, I do. If you want to put it that way, if you want to demonize me in that way, okay, we can go down that path.
You told me that the Illuminati is correct.
Yeah, the Illuminati are correct. If
and that they've been right over the years.
They have. It's amazing how right they are, because man is.
So when they create an American Civil War that killed 5% of the entire American population, that's okay.
Yeah, because look what was created from it. Well, which war are we talking about? Are we talking about the Civil War?
The American Civil War.
Oh, Civil War. Okay, right. I didn't know which one you were talking about there. Well, it wasn't created in our interest. I can tell you that much. But well, not created in our interest. But I mean, it wasn't created. It didn't create exactly what we really wanted it to do.
Because you failed.
Yeah.
Because the Union won.
But you do understand basically the Union's been infiltrated at the same time, right? So it was there was
of course. That's why Booth had to assassinate.
Mm-hmm.
And then a Southern Democrat was his vice president, and that's obviously what they wanted.
Do you know what actually reminds me of? I used to have conversations with Ralph Epperson on Skype a lot over the last 2 years, and he told me I probably have it written down here somewhere, but he said the King George I can't remember the king at the time, but basically the king in England at the time before the American Revolution had this law set in place so that the Constitution is invalid. I'd have to look around to get the actual name of the law, but it was in 1775 actually that he wrote a law that made the Constitution invalid.
Do you have the Constitution was written in 1783?
Yeah, I know the Constitution was written in 1783, but you don't mean what I'm saying is he wrote a law prior to that, which makes the Constitution invalid. I will have to recheck that.
That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the King of England says.
Yeah, but basically Ralph's argument is that they've had this in place for a long time. So they knew that the Constitution was going to be written, and they knew what was in the Constitution, so they had a countermeasure in place.
But I want to get back on the whole ends justify the means thing.
Okay, we can get back. Oh yeah, that's much better because we are kind of going off topic here. All right, go for it.
What ends justify all the means throughout the thousands of years?
Did I not already answer that for you during text? If you still have that there, because I don't want to start repeating myself. That's the thing.
Explain yourself here. What's the ends? Yeah, you've never said what the ends are to me, anyways.
No, what did I not? I thought I did. Okay, well, basically, I believe man through. Let's just say, right. I'm just gonna put a rough estimate on it. Obviously, it's probably gonna be incorrect, but let's just say another 200 years or so, man might be ready then to be giving the gift of knowledge and intellect and actually be able to teach himself, because you have to study the classics like Latin and Greek and the ancient philosophers of Greece and Rome to actually understand how the world works. If you do not understand the basis of philosophy and how political systems and so forth work, then how are you to understand exactly what we do? How are you meant to understand that?
Many of us have studied those things, but I'm asking you, what is the ends do these means?
What? Hopefully the end. Hopefully, I'd say I'm just, as I said, I'm using a rough estimate. Let's say in the next 10, 20 years time. Hopefully, the world will come together and get rid of its differences and actually want to sit and educate themselves. That's what it is. That's what this whole new order is about. Once it's in place, the select few at the top will be able to teach man and get rid of his bonds of ignorance. Though obviously it's going to take time and a lot of, let's say, patience and practice. But I hope within the next 30 or so years that man gets rid of his stupidity as a whole and actually wants to sit and learn for himself and become a free thinker. And the only way to become a free thinker is for a select few to be put in place who are, let's say, I could say gifted, but like I don't want to really use that word, but in teaching man and hopefully getting rid of his prejudice so he can look at the world in a whole new light and be, I don't want to use any like buzzwords or anything because you'll probably go mad at that, but you know, that's the main thing, really. That's the best way I can describe it.
You think once someone has the entire power of the entire world under their hand that they're gonna?
That's the problem. That's what I'm gonna put right. You have to understand this, right? That's the same thing. Let's throw on Karl Marx in here for a second because I've been reading Das Kapital, right? Marx, what he wanted from my hydro thesis, like this is based on limited evidence, what I've read so far. He wanted a controlled state, but he didn't want to get rid of capitalism. He just wanted to put in place a select number of roles that gave the average man, you know, purpose in life and actually got him a good day's pay, a good day's work, and actually let him go home at the end of the day and sit and educate themselves because that's what he believed in. That was Marx's a commodity. He believed in knowledge. He believed in studying how the world worked. You know, that's what Marx wanted. But yes, if that system was set up, same with the New World Order, if you want to put that, yes, there will be corruption there. Of course, there will be corruption in
Corruption
any
from the
system.
very people that are pushing for it right now.
Yes, you could say that. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like corruption is inevitable. Like any system,
If
there will be
corruption is
corruption.
inevitable, then why would you want corruption on a world scale? That's like having Hitler on a world scale. It was bad enough that he just controlled half of Europe, but now you want to put someone like Hitler in charge of the entire world with nobody to stop him because now he has the entire world under his hand?
I wouldn't recommend, personally myself, I wouldn't put under one person. I put it under a committee or so forth. And actually, you know,
So what's the
I
difference
would.
between one tyrant and 300 tyrants?
Because at least you can control the 300 tyrants if they're under select rules and guidelines that should be followed.
Select rules and guidelines.
Mm-hmm.
So all of the select rules and guidelines throughout history that tyrants have broken, that what
Mm-hmm.
changes that?
Like man is just naturally greedy. Like that's what I'm saying. That's gonna, as I said, corruption's gonna happen anyway. So like
If
it's just
man
that
is
if
naturally
you had,
greedy, then why would you put men in charge of other men?
well, you can't.
Believe that they're above the rest of us.
Well, I believe after a month of study, yes. Like I'm not here to rub my intellect or something on someone's face, obviously, because I'm very humble when it comes to that. But yes, there is like I like you have to understand. Once you study anything, you're higher than someone else because you actually have an educated, formed, based opinion on it. You can actually make a difference in that sense. So yes, I would say you put people who are higher in an intellectual level, actually self-educated, high up, and make sure they're of good moral standing before you move on with the rest of the plan. Really.
Moral standing, like killing anyone who gets in your way.
Listen, if so, you know, if someone's causing turmoil, you do have to deal with it.
Who's causing the turmoil?
Well, you know, I would say,
People like me who want to educate, as you guys would term it, the masses.
Sass, if you wanted to educate, you would sit without any prejudice whatsoever and sit and read Marx for what he's worth. But no, you already have this perceived assumption that
Because
socialism
I've
is evil.
seen what the philosophies of Marx have done for the world.
Listen. You could point off to the Soviet Union and like Vietnam and so forth. You could point off to the many different Asian countries. Okay, but you have to understand. if you don't read Marx, okay, this guy wrote 3,000 words in 3 volumes. If you don't read it and see what he wanted, and then you, after you read that and get an understanding of his thesis, what he initially wanted, then you can go on and study, let's say, Germany and the Soviet Union and like China and so forth, and see if his philosophy was adapted correctly or there was individual
The
interpretation.
philosophy is impossible to be adapted correctly.
Well, yeah,
The
that's true.
philosophy is a utopian world. The utopian world will never exist because, like you said, man is inherently corrupt and dumb.
Yes, that's true. That's why you need people to
Why
educate him.
Marx's philosophy was never properly implemented because Marx believed in a utopian world that would never exist. And so anytime someone tried to implement a utopian world that Marx wanted, it didn't work because a utopian world won't happen, and you invest all the collective resources and power into a select few, and it breeds corruption. Marx's utopian world was that you would have all the resources and money and power in the collective, and then it wouldn't be corrupted. But he was dumb because obviously it's going to be corrupted.
Hmm. Well, I wouldn't say that, but I just want to tell you something, right? Yep, yep. Like you could say that about like, but this brings me back to my point that like any political system can breed corruption. That's just like that's plausible. That's going to happen either way. But yeah, you have to understand also the fact that I was reading in a book about I think a month ago now. It said don't put it so that basically I'm going to paraphrase it. Basically, what the guy said is that we cherish accepted truths that we are raised up to believe. Now, this could range from anything, but it's when you actually study both sides of the issue. Because he said, like, he used the example of capitalism and communism. He said, yes, both may have pros and cons, but maybe, he took this from an unbiased perspective. Maybe it's something in between. Maybe if you take all the different political systems and pick pick at them, you could probably create something which is a lot better and will help towards the education of man and actually give him purpose in life.
So I'm going to try and steer this back in another direction. You said that man is so dumb because he keeps killing each other, and I would
Yes.
assume that you don't believe in nation states because they go to war with each other, correct?
Well, I believe in nation states, but not in their current form. You know.
In what kind of form?
Well, as I said, I believe there should be like in a sense each nation should be given home rule, not full sovereignty. They should be allowed to make their own laws and so forth, but not to the point where they
So
dictate their
they
own
can make their
destiny.
own laws, but not enforce their own laws.
No.
Do they? What's the point of making your own laws if you can't enforce your own laws?
Well, it's just there to give them the illusion of choice and freedom, basically. You know.
So that's very enlightening for a man to trick them.
Well, yeah, stupidity can easily be tricked. You have to work. You have to work on that. Look, basically, my point is okay. At this current stage in time, man is like just inherently stupid. So he needs to be taught first. They need to be guided. Now you can say yes, they need to be
They
enslaved.
need to
I
be
would.
guided by poisoning our water supply, so we're dumbed down and kept ignorant
That's only for the time being. Like obviously that'll change.
for the time being.
Yes. Now, trust me, I've talked to high up members, so I know what I'm talking about when it comes to this.
And you think
That's,
that when people have power, they will give it up and let man be? Because I'm pretty
well,
sure once you have corruption, and once these
hmm
people are used to using the world as a stage and as a game for their own personal means, and they have all this power and money, I'm pretty sure they're not going to give it up. Keep man ignorant.
you're actually probably right on that, and I'm going to agree with you on that. But you have to understand. As I said, you have to put a few steel. What is it? A few. I'm trying to think of the best word to describe this. You know what? Let's just say you have to put a few nails in place to make sure that that doesn't happen. Like there has to be like precautions put in place. So in case let's say, let's select few that are put in power do go insane, let the people after that will be able to judge them out and actually try and redirect this society.
How will you oust these people?
That's the thing. I can't answer that question. You know,
Because we've seen it throughout history how people oust their dictators who don't want to give up power. It usually ends up in bloodshed.
yes, I know, but that's the sad reality of life. You know, you can't get rid of that.
So instead of having bloodshed in an individual country, you want to bring it to a world problem.
Well, well, personally, I don't believe in the shredding of innocent life for no reason. But if it
Shedding of
happens,
innocent life. So you kind of do because you believe that for the time being, people who create turmoil in your
there,
philosophy and the
yes, well,
advancement of mankind.
mhm. Well, I don't say they should be killed off, but they should be put somewhere where they're not like interfering.
What if they decide that they're an adult and they don't need to be treated like a child and they're not going to listen to you?
Well, then,
William
as an
Cooper, who resisted, and then you had to fucking kill.
yeah, well, like he kind of almost was willing. You say he did threaten a lot of times, you know.
Oh, so he didn't receive the threats first?
Mm, well, I don't know. I haven't looked at him too much, so I can't really say on that. That's more your.
I'm pretty sure you're pretty familiar with them.
Yeah, I'm quite familiar with him to be honest with you. But yeah, but this is the thing, right? What we were listening, you and I, when we first started on this, we were listening to, you know, already done recordings, so we don't know what happened behind the scenes. You know, he could be saying that, and it could be something else entirely. Yeah, you have to understand this. You know,
He didn't threaten anyone.
he didn't threaten anyone. All right, I could pull up a few radio recordings where he did threaten.
He might have. He didn't threaten anyone individually. He did
No,
say
yeah,
bloodshed.
yeah, I know. I
If
know he didn't
it
threaten anyone.
continues.
I know he didn't point out names. Yeah, I know. I'm going to agree with you on that. He didn't point out names. I would never say that. Okay, but I'm saying he did threaten the Lamb as a whole, if you want to say. I don't like using the word damn. It doesn't work too well.
You don't see a problem with wanting a world of peace and enlightenment by keeping people dumb and at war with each other?
No, I don't see a problem with that at this time being.
Because you see, the way and many others believe is we decide that we're going to put our theories into practice, the best way to lead by example, and we're going to. Tim Cooper didn't just go out shooting people.
Obviously, he didn't. I'm
He
not going
gave
to
them
say it.
warning, and he, until his push was backed up against the wall, his back was pushed up against the wall. He started firing. He didn't. He waited. He tried to exhaust every peaceful mean possible. And on the other hand, you guys don't care about peaceful means. You just kill.
Mm.
I mean, you don't kill first. First, they give death threats. Like I've received death threats.
I've never seen
Then
these
you
death
kill.
threats. You've never shown me, so I've never. I can't take that as face value.
I don't save them.
Well, I. That's the thing. I've asked you in many occasions over the years to show me because I
I've
want.
showed you.
I don't remember. Sorry, if you did show me, I don't remember. So
I'm pretty sure I have a YouTube video showing one of them.
I don't know. I don't check your channel regularly enough, so I wouldn't. I can't remember.
So how is us leading by example less noble? In the end, both sides want the same thing, but you guys have lost your moral standard when it comes to it.
So
The world we want and believe in right now. You guys say that you want it later.
yeah, which is better.
We both want peace and for man to stop being so ignorant. But you
Yeah, but
guys say
that's
that you have to make war first.
well. I would say I wouldn't say you would have to make war, but obviously I said war's inevitable. That's going to happen either way because, as I said,
It's
many
not
different.
inevitable.
You're saying all war can stop? Really?
War can stop when people
And how
like
is
you stop messing with the rest of us. Like, for example, the coming American Civil War can easily be averted if you just let us be free.
Yeah, but then that'd just be letting man be stupid, wouldn't it? Why would you let him be stupid?
Wants to be stupid, that's his choice. You can't force it upon him. You can't force
True.
someone to be. You can't force someone to be smart and not
I'm
ignorant.
gonna.
If they
No,
want to be
I
ignorant,
agree.
they're gonna.
I agree. I agree completely with you because it took me over the last 2-3 years to figure that out. And I'm not gonna lie. I have many people who would agree with you on that. Like you can force it upon them. It's
So what do you
only
do? Do you kill them, or do you let them
well,
be?
through you gradually introduce it to them through different times. You know, it takes a
And if they
person of
don't want to,
then either you it depends of how much of a nuisance they are.
how much of a nuisance? The
Yes.
average American that watches football and cooks hot dogs on the weekend.
Yeah, I don't see he's fine.
He's fine.
Yeah. You know, as long as he doesn't like go around like getting heavily intoxicated and causing like freaking destruction to public property and so forth just for the
Of
hell of
course,
it.
that's a
And
crime. Destruction of public property.
mm-hmm.
That, unless
Yes.
you're an anarchist, maybe.
Mm-hmm. Yes. No, I think they are. I'm saying like that's the thing. The average person who just goes about his life, goes to his job and everything, they're fine.
Oh, okay. So people like me who want to educate themselves and educate other people and give these
Yeah.
ignorant people knowledge, that's the problem.
No, it's more the fact that you're pushing your own agenda with it.
So the Illuminati is not pushing their agenda?
No, our knowledge has no agenda.
Knowledge has no agenda. So the New World Order, that's not an agenda?
No, I wouldn't call it an agenda. No, I would call it
So
more of
what
a
is it? Between you wanting to create a sovereign state that's worldwide and us wanting to keep our sovereign state.
ours would work better.
Agendas.
Well, yeah, you could. Yeah, well, I would consider mine more of a philosophy than anything else.
Yeah, we have a philosophy too. It's called freedom.
We believe in freedom. We just believe when man is ready, that's when he will get his freedom.
Oh, so man has to prove himself. Freedom's not a natural born right.
Yes, man has
It's
to
not
prove
God
himself.
given.
No, I wouldn't say it's God given. No,
It's not.
you're not born with a free mind. It has to be earned through long study.
The American Revolution, correct? Do you believe it was a grand experiment set up?
Yeah.
Okay. And so if the Illuminati set up this grand experiment to make a free country and a free people, what's the issue here? What
It
didn't
didn't.
work? Like,
Oh, it just didn't work as a whole.
what's the issue with man being free based off this experiment?
Well, it was only a stepping stone. Like as I said, it's an experiment, so it was only a stepping stone towards the.
The whole experiment, the experiment just itself.
Okay.
What's the issue?
People got too cocky. That's what I think.
People got too cocky.
Yes.
You mean cocky as in pride for our nation?
Yes.
Too patriotic.
Yes.
People like Hitler who are pretty nationalist, that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
So, so, so our kind of patriotism, when we believe in freedom, that's wrong. Nationalism.
Yeah.
When he believes that you must enslave everybody and kill people who don't look like you, that's okay.
Have you studied both sides of Nazi Germany, or are you just taking the mainstream version?
I'm pretty sure I know what Nazi Germany did.
Mm-hmm.
They killed anybody who didn't believe like they did and didn't look like they did.
And what did Nazi Germany believe?
What did they believe?
Mm-hmm.
You mean the SS?
I mean, Germany as a whole. What do they believe in?
They believed whatever the state told them, so they wouldn't get shot. And to be, that's my point. You can't force man to be smart, even if you under their head and say
Yeah, I know.
believe like we do. They're just going to believe like you do because you have a gun to their head, not because they decided that we want to be smart.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. That was my main point. Like that's what I said before. You know, like I said, it took me a good 2 to 3 years of long consideration after you decided, you know, which I do not like hate you for. You decided just to let me go because you wanted me, after our discussion, you wanted me to go in self-discovery, and I did go into self-discovery. And I realized after reading and reading and reading and talking to people and actually sitting for long hours at night just contemplating the world, I realized that the Illuminati was the only real way forward. Actually preserving intellect and spreading it. Though, as I said, yes, you cannot force it upon people, and I completely agree. It takes time and dedication before one can become smart, you know, but they have to willingly want to become it. You know, but that obviously is done through nourishment and guidance. That's the main thing here. That's what the main problem is. You guys just don't want to be guided. You just want to be let loose to do whatever you want.
I want to be guided. I'm a grown
Because
man.
yeah, that's the thing, right? Physically, you could say you're a grown man, but inwardly, mentally, majority of people ain't. That's what I'm trying to say.
We have 2 experiments a century
Mm-hmm.
that show us that the Illuminati was wrong. Where man was guided, and we have the United States of America where man was let free, not on top.
You have to have a mixture of both. That literally, you have to mix it together.
What country is more prosperous?
Hmm.
The States ended up being the most prosperous country in the history of the world because we had freedom and
Yeah.
opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And so, do you not believe in prosperity?
No, I don't believe in prosperity.
Oh, the ignorant masses should be kept in poverty.
Well, I don't.
Whereas the people who are enlightened, they get all the wealth.
No, I don't. I don't believe they should be kept in poverty. I believe that. You know what I believe? I don't believe that your salary or how much you're paid is based on what education you have or what qualifications you have from
Of
university or
course,
so
like
forth.
some people like the Rothschilds get it through blood.
No, but you're not letting me finish my dialogue. Basically, what I'm saying is what I believe in. I believe that you should be given your fair share of that profit you make. Let's say you make a product and it's of good quality and good standard. You should be judged on the standard of it and how much time went into producing it, and you should be paid off that. So basically, my point is you should be paid on your own individual skill set rather than uh, a pre-perceived qualification. Like most days, people get salaries now based on experience and age, which a lot of the time, most of these people in high positions are no better than children. And no, I
So,
do. Yeah,
what's your point?
my point is that when it comes to paying, when getting a wage, you know, like I believe in a middle class, yes, but I believe that they should be created for their individual skill. So let's say someone produces something really shit and is a lazy worker. That should reflect on his overall pay scale. So it's down to man's individual
Yeah, that's called
mindset.
capitalism that you want to destroy.
No, that's not capitalism. Let me tell you, that's not capitalism.
How isn't it?
Hi, because from talking to you, I've got the concept that capitalism is something else entirely, where that man is allowed to make money by any means necessary. So that means he can exploit the hell out of man, and that's what Karl Marx saw in his time. That's why
Yeah,
he did what
just
he
like
did.
the Illuminati exploits the hell out of man's ignorance.
Well, that's only for the time being. Like that, that's net. Like you're gonna do that anyway. I don't do that, okay? Because I feel very sorry for man, that how stupid he really is. Once I realized it, okay, I have sympathy for them. Okay, yes, there's people at top who do that. I don't personally agree with it, but it's unstoppable. You can't stop that. That's always going to be the way.
I'm pretty sure you can stop that.
So you can stop someone having a dislike towards man's ignorance and wanting to exploit it to his own means.
You can put those people in jail,
What is
treasonous against your country, and hang them.
well? Why would that do? That would just create more.
How? If we
Well,
keep our
consider you're
sovereignty, then well, like you can't screw with our nation.
uh
There will always be the 3% of Americans who watch out for the wolves.
and where are these 3% Americans right now?
You
Where are
don't need to know where they are.
they?
When when needed.
Uh-huh. Uh it's really sad, really. It really is. How
What
stupid man
is?
actually. Oh, how stupid man actually is. Just talking to you right now, like it just makes me sad that I used to believe in
That
this.
I love my country.
I love my country too, but
You want a new world order.
yeah, I know, but I believe that is necessary at the time being. But I still love my country. I still love what I agree. I love my heritage. But what you have is
You
a
believe that the Illuminati wants to preserve heritage?
yeah, they do. Trust
That's
me.
why they open our borders and have us be force us to assimilate with all different cultures.
What? Well, like this is the thing, right? You could bring up the concept of apartheid, but apartheid isn't what it says in South Africa. Basically, from talking to BJ Foster, he was the well, he's dead now, but he did an interview with William B. Buckley back in 1970s, and he said that the reason South Africa had such strong, like, let's just say, immigration policies and stuff like that, and you could say segregation, but it's completely different, is because they believed in preserving culture and heritage, which they did. And the fact that if you mix any race together, there's always going to be friction. That's just a natural aspect of things, because if you pull different cultures and throw them in with one another, they're going to fight. That's always going to happen. So the thing is that you have to find some common ground between that.
Or you could just keep your culture.
Well, most people don't like that though. You can still keep. I never said anything getting rid of your culture. You can keep your culture. It's just that it needs to be controlled.
So culture needs to be controlled.
Yes.
Is that how the culture was created? Because a select few of people controlled it, or was it created by the ignorant sheeple?
Um, I'd say it's a mixture of both.
Really?
Yes.
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure it evolved over time by the common man who you hate.
I don't hate the common man. I feel sympathetic towards him.
You feel sympathetic towards someone who's ignorant?
Yes.
Why?
Yes, I do.
Because it's partially for making them ignorant.
Well, I wouldn't say it's our fault, but we were put in place to hopefully bring man out of that state.
By giving them lies and deception.
But that's just you just have to test the waters. You have to see who's adept for it and who's not. Like, because I realize that as well myself.
Of course, some will be smarter than others
Yeah, I
and
know.
figure things out more than others.
Yeah, I know.
At the same time, you will always know who's smarter than others without keeping the rest ignorant. You can have the information free flowing, and who really takes information at that point, you know who's smarter and who's not. And on top of it, people who are smarter and have had to go past all the lies and deception, if they didn't have to go past all the lies and deception, they would be smarter all the hoops. Instead, you're making the people who are even smart less smart because they have to deal with all the bullshit.
But as I said, it's testing the waters. Like, obviously, you have to put trials and error into it.
So, who's, in your opinion, who's dumber? People like me or William Cooper, or people who are ignorant and don't care about anything?
To be honest with you, I'd say people who don't care about anything. But at the same time, William Cooper and yourself, you have potential. It's just you don't want to use it.
That's why we dedicate our lives to it.
Yeah, okay. You can keep thinking that if you like. I think you're going the wrong direction. You have to understand, I've been doing that path, so I know it far too well. I haven't.
You haven't.
How have I not?
Because you admitted to me, followed me around. You never really went down the path yourself. You never really joined any organizations fighting. You never actually went down the path.
Yeah, well, I started going down the path nearly am, but I decided as I said, over the last year to actually start getting rid of my prejudices and so forth, because it was making me really depressed, and that was bad. Like, I was actually to the point where I was
Yeah,
getting really
truth
suicidal.
will make you depressed because the world's so messed up.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a
So,
strong mind to actually continue on the path. Obviously, you don't have a strong mind
how did I not have a strong mind?
because you said it was making you depressed. Of course, everyone gets depressed. I get depressed all the time because man is so ignorant and dumb, and then people want to kill people because they want power. It stresses me all the time seeing that I can't relate with anyone in the real world because they're all ignorant. I see Freemasons around preaching their fucking bullshit. Yeah, it makes you depressed. But if you have a strong mind, you get past your depression and you keep fighting. Let your depression get the best of you, and you gave up because obviously you don't have a strong mind like the rest of us who are fighting for something good.
No, I believe in something good, and I've already explained that to you.
Believe in killing people who have certain information.
Because certain information shouldn't be allowed out this time because people aren't ready for it. The esoteric form shouldn't be
For
allowed
it,
out.
then they won't have it because they're ignorant and they don't want it anyways.
Listen, it's really easy to get this information. People don't understand that. Literally, I have a copy of Morals and Dogma and all that stuff right beside me, and I have another one that I ordered from the United States. So it's really easy. The information is public domain. It's just
Yeah,
as you.
people like me have had it.
Yeah. Have you actually sat and read it? Because I have.
Mm-hmm. I
You've
have.
read. You've read all 800 pages.
Yes.
Oh wait for. Okay, that's surprising. It's very surprising. Anyway, but no, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's public
I'm
now.
not stupid enough to fall for the bullshit.
So what you're saying, what you're telling me is you do not believe this is a noble cause? Because I believe it's a noble cause.
A noble cause isn't causing a Syrian civil war that's killed 100,000 people. A noble cause isn't causing world wars that's killed millions.
But that's all stepping stones.
That's the opposite of noble.
Look, those are just stepping stones.
People like me want to save innocent lives. You kill innocent lives.
Well, I wouldn't say you kill innocent lives now. It just happens.
It just happens, yeah,
Yeah.
because you kill them. It doesn't just happen. Someone goes and kills them.
Hmm. Well, that's obvious. You know, a gun doesn't just like just shoot itself. We're not getting anywhere with this army. This is just.
Well, you believe that creating a war for peace is the right thing to do. I believe stopping a war for peace will create peace.
That not really. That'll just create more friction.
How?
You can't stop all wars. That's just gonna like literally. As I said, if
Of
you did.
course, because that's a utopian idea,
Mhm.
kind of like you believe.
Well, I believe free educational wars will stop if man, as I said, reads the classic languages and
But
actually.
you won't educate man. You refuse. Anybody who wants to educate themselves gets shot.
But this is the difference. This is the difference. So you guys are educating yourselves on a preconceived idea. You're not
Not a
opening yourself up.
preconceived idea.
You are.
Your idea is preconceived because the mystery schools have been around for thousands of years. Preconceived idea.
I want to ask you something. When you sat and read Morals and Dogma, did you read it for the aspect of learning, or did you read it with a ready, assumed perspective on it?
I mean, I read it for learning.
Okay, so you read it for what it was worth, correct? So I'm going to believe what you're saying for a second. You read it and just read Albert Pike's words, word from word, and not
I
on
mean,
a.
I knew he was evil.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You had a pre-perceived assumption of him.
Yeah, partially, but I also keep an open mind when I read things for the first time.
Mm, well, I would have to disagree on that, but yeah, that was the only thing I wanted to put across there.
I want to ask this question. You believe that you can go against God?
I want to be honest with you, okay? I'm 50-50 on the concept of God. Okay, I have
If
been
he
for the last year.
exists?
Yeah, I have been for the last year. Because as I said,
Your higher ups communicate with.
they're more. I would say they're more humanist than anything else from who I've talked to and so forth. They believe they're more in pursuing man's knowledge and intellect. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. It's not a spiritual battle between man and or God and Lucifer, or man and Lucifer. It's a spirit. It's a battle for man's brain, basically his mind, because he's, as I said, as we're going back again, we're going in circles a little bit, but he's stupid. That's the main point. Because I even said that when I was talking to you through text. Like you can, as I said, you can happily read out what I said if you want to expand on any of my
So what about all the
explanations.
Luciferian rituals?
What about them? Because I went free one, if you want to say that. So what would you like? Elaborate on what you're saying because you just stopped mid sentence.
So if it's not about Lucifer, then why are you worshiping Lucifer?
Because he is basically the
The leader.
let's. I want to tell you know what would you like me to quote from Morals and Dogma for you? Okay, hold on.
If you have the quote ready.
Oh, I do. I can get it for you now. It's right beside me. Give me a second. Okay, as I look for this, basically what I'm saying is Lucifer is no more than in man's head, as I look for this quote. But like literally, that's what I'm saying. Like Lucifer isn't real. It's just a metaphor. That's all it is.
Metaphor. But when you do Luciferian rituals, when your leaders summon demons and give them sacrifices, what are they giving sacrifices to?
Well, as I said, it's all metaphorical. So it's they're giving sacrifices to intellect. That's what they believe in. They believe in knowledge is God in a sense, and I completely agree with them. Though I'm not saying you should never abuse knowledge. Knowledge should be taken really lightly.
And you realize that's a lower level of thinking?
That's a lower level of thinking.
The actual higher ups in the Illuminati actually communicate with actual beings.
Do they?
And that's why the lower levels give sacrifices to these beings. So you don't believe that there's a creator?
No, I do not. Well, I'm 50-50 on it. I don't really believe there is a God.
Well, I can assure you there is one, and he will destroy your New World Order.
Will he?
Yeah. He will. If your leaders know that there is no real Lucifer being, and that they know that there isn't a God, then why is Christians their main target?
Why is Christians their main target?
Yeah, why don't they target anyone else?
Well, they do target other people.
Like who?
They target anyone who doesn't agree with them, basically. Like, listen, I can't answer these questions. Well,
I'm pretty sure Christians are their main target because Christians believe in the one king of the world or the universe.
Mm-hmm.
Christians are the only thing that would stop the New World Order. Christians take away from their earthly power.
Really? You have a lot of faith in this Christianity, don't you?
Why wouldn't I have faith in the thing that saved me?
It's made you very closed-minded, I can tell you that much.
Yeah, once you know the truth, you are closed-minded.
God
is closed-minded.
You're 20 years old and you think you've worked the whole world out. That's just sad.
World, but I'm fairly certain on the things I know to be true at this moment.
Well, that brings back thing. These are accepted truths, and I'm putting that in quotations.
Yeah, because at one time I was open-minded when I searched for the truth, and then when I found the truth, I knew it was the truth.
And how do you know this is the truth?
Because of all the facts
behind it. What facts are?
Oh, well, you don't believe in facts anyways because everything's subjective. How can you enlighten man if everything's subjective anyways? Maybe ignorance is the ultimate truth, because if truth is subjective, then what's wrong with that? That's his personal truth to be ignorant.
Well, I just want to... I didn't hear you there.
It contradicts itself.
No, I actually didn't hear you. Cut out. What'd you say?
Your philosophy contradicts itself.
Okay, did you what? No, I said no. I heard that, but I'm saying, what did you say before that about something about truth? You cut out.
Because you say truth is subjective.
Mm-hmm.
So, what if someone's subjective truth is just to be ignorant?
Well, then that is down to the individuals in that.
But you say that they're ignorant. You're saying an objective truth that they're ignorant, when in reality that's their subjective truth. And then you say that you want to enlighten man.
Yes. Look, I realized after long consideration, no, I personally am 50-50 on the concept of a God. If there is a God, I'd rather ally myself with Lucifer and actually learn and put my intellect up to
you can beat the You think you can beat the creator of the universe who has all the power?
That can be done. It's
Yeah,
hard,
really?
but it can be done. Yeah,
Really?
really.
So someone who has enough power to create the world, you don't think they have enough power to destroy anything he wants?
Well, in theory, yes.
So you're
But
basically trying to fight something that is all powerful and all knowing.
yeah, it's not that hard. What? No.
To fight an all powerful being. I
Hmm.
mean, you lost the first time of the angels, but that didn't matter. You lost. Didn't get the throne of God.
Yeah, I know, but
Everything that the Bible has said has already come true, and that the Bible says that Lucifer will lose again. Do you think that's the one thing in the Bible that won't come true?
they probably won't, to be honest.
Really?
Hmm.
So how can God be right on everything else?
I never said he was.
The Bible says he was.
Yeah, I know. I've read the exact same Bible as you. Just because of
The prophecies
books.
have come true.
uh, Today put shame to the old church fathers because they were very intellectual men, both Catholic and Protestant. You know, they were very intellectual men. And you
The
think you
church
know everything.
fathers were Catholic or Protestant.
It's very sad, really, because you guys think just reading a small little book about 800, 900 pages, you know the entire world. That's just utter ignorance in itself.
It was written by someone who knows everything.
Really? You can never know everything. It's impossible.
You created the universe, you can know everything about the universe. If I create a car, I'm probably going to know everything about that car. If I write a book, I'm probably going to know every word in that book because I wrote it. Universe, he knows everything about the universe.
Okay, but then you have to have a pre-perception of who God is.
God is the creator. That's a
Yeah, I don't really like God, to be honest with you.
I know. That's why you rebel against him.
No,
No.
I'm going to end up in hell.
Yeah. Like
Okay,
everybody before you has ended up in.
well, let's senior masons I've been talking to, and they're willing to guide me and help educate me, say different.
Oh, what do they say? Reincarnated?
No, they didn't know. They know. They never said. They don't say about reincarnation. No, no.
So
Considering,
where have people like Adam Weishaupt ended up?
I don't know.
Where is he now?
Who even knows if there is a second plane of existence?
Well, Adam
Who,
Weishaupt believed in reincarnation.
yes, that is true. But I don't believe in reincarnation personally. I think it's really stupid.
So where will you end up?
Well, this is the thing. Nobody knows the question of that. For all you know, you could end up just in limbo.
So some people who are so obsessed with enlightenment and knowledge don't know the answer? Knowledge and
It's
information is what you worship, and yet you don't have the answer. You worship the answers, yet you don't have it.
listen. It's a philosophical.
Fiction.
It's a philosophical discuss. That's a long philosophical discussion. You know that, right? It
I
takes a
mean,
long.
I know you don't have the answer. I know you don't know when you worship gnosis, knowledge, knowing.
Yes.
Oh,
And how do you know, then, Sass? Oh, like what?
because my God has assured me.
Really?
Yes. He proved himself to be God by dead. Who's come back from the dead except one?
You do understand that Jesus could have, like, I believe that Jesus was real. I don't believe he was the Son of God.
All the evidence points to that he was. What first-hand accounts of Jesus do you have that didn't show his divinity?
Well, first of all, you do understand we have to go back about 2,000 years and ask people.
Do we have historical data and contemporary historians of the day that tell us what happened?
And you take that as face value?
Yeah.
That's very sad.
Why not? Why?
Because it shows you're not a truly open-minded individual, that you would just accept anything that lives up with your own
Well,
beliefs
when
and
I
your
was
matches.
looking for the truth, I was open-minded. Once you know the truth is objective. And yeah, I'm going to be closed off to the lies and bullshit.
Yes, of your own little paradigm, yes, of course.
I'm strong-minded enough not to fall for the deceit of the New World Order. I don't believe that killing people is justified no matter what because I have strong moral values. You guys have no moral values.
But then you like but you did threaten me, so like what's that say?
I didn't threaten you personally.
Well, considering you classified as your people, though we are all human
Because it
beings.
is you people. You people are the ones destroying the world.
Mm-hmm.
You people are the ones creating wars. Trying to destroy my nation and my people and my culture. That's you people. And I said, starts, I won't hesitate to kill any of you. I don't care. Well, I know what's important to me, and I will defend it.
I know what's important to me, and I will defend that to my dying
What?
breath.
Create for knowledge?
Well, as I said, I'm trying not to demonize myself, but you're trying to do that. You've been trying to do that for this whole discussion.
I'm not trying to demonize you because you guys are working for the devil, so I don't have to do it. What you guys are.
Have you ever talked to the devil, or Lucifer, if you want to call him that?
Yeah.
Have you?
Before I became a Christian, I meddled in that stuff, and I regret it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what else to say. Like, I've kind of said everything that I need to be said.
You guys just have twisted moral values.
How do we have twisted moral values? What is morality? Morality is a set of principles.
Yeah,
Okay.
and you
And
have no principles.
I want to ask you something. Who defines those set of principles? Really? I thought it was down to the individual man.
Oh, so it's down to the individual man. So if I'm an individual man and I decide to go rape a woman, that's okay. Because it's down to me.
Well, obviously, there's laws set in place by the society at the time that go against that. But in the end,
But you
morality is
said
down
it,
to a
morality
select
is
few.
down to the individual.
Yeah, it is. Like what I'm trying to say is that it's a select few make it.
So a select few of people decide to tell everybody else what to do.
Yep.
Decide what's right and what's wrong.
Yes.
Man, these select few of people, do they say that killing each other's wrong?
Well, that depends on your individual view.
No,
Well,
you said
murder
there's
is
just select few people. You
yeah,
said and you talked
yeah.
about
It's
that's
up like
aside everything. Is it
it's
wrong to these people?
no. I don't believe murder is wrong.
It's not wrong.
No,
Why not?
because it is
Murder is not wrong.
Blind murder is wrong, but then there's like just blind.
I didn't say killing people. I said murder. I believe that I'm justified to kill people who are trying to destroy my country and threaten my life.
Then that
But
means
if I
that
went out and murdered an innocent person who didn't do anything wrong,
no, that's that. Yeah, I agree with you. Yes, blind. That's what I'm saying. Blind murder is wrong. Just for going killing an innocent life for no reason is wrong. But you have to have reasons behind anything. If you don't have a reason, then there's no point
so
doing
you
it.
can kill someone has not who has not committed a violent crime.
Well, what kind of crime are we talking about?
A violent crime. Someone who has not done a violent crime.
What you're like gone? Like what?
Someone
Like
like William Cooper.
well, like he was a obstacle. So
An obstacle.
yes,
Why? Because he was trying to educate man?
he wasn't trying to educate man.
What was he trying to do?
He was educating them on his own viewpoint. You do
Oh,
understand?
really? So when he
Yeah.
read books of the Illuminati and said, make up your own mind, here's what they believe, and then he read it.
And I did make up my own mind.
And
so I did
yeah,
take what Cooper said as a legit.
with the deception.
I didn't fall for the deception. I realized it was a very good thought out philosophy, and it's something I would like to help contribute towards.
Do you want to contribute to killing people?
I wouldn't know. As I said to you on Facebook and so forth.
You want to contribute to enslaving mankind?
No, guiding mankind
by enslaving them.
See, you're going to push me into a corner now where I'm going to have to use that word, and then you're going to like just jump all over the place. So,
because that's what you're doing, enslavement.
It's not enslavement. I'm sorry, it's really
it's
not.
not. It's not.
No.
So
Man
Nazi Germany, the people weren't enslaved.
Everyone loves bringing up Nazi Germany. What is this, like a buzzword?
If I want to do something right, gun pointed at my head, that's guiding me instead to do what you believe is right.
It's a very bad analogy.
Maybe.
It really is. It's like that's not what the realistic aspect of it is. We're you're not going to point guns at anyone's heads.
Oh,
we're simply giving them a choice.
So the guns pointed at all the Patriots in Oregon.
Well, they were causing the hassle.
Guns pointed at the Hutari militia. You're not pointing guns at anyone's head until they don't do what you want. Has a fit and doesn't get what they want, so they turn to violence. That's what a child does. Settle their differences peacefully and diplomatically. Children, when they have a difference, they first turn to violence. That's what the Illuminati does. When they first have a problem with someone,
that's the only way.
They don't try and do it peacefully and diplomatically. They turn to violence at first, as a child would do.
Look, that's the only way you're going to create order in any world.
Order by chaos?
Yes.
Partially.
That's the only way true order.
It's not a good order. It's order based upon fear.
Listen, the victors of any war always write the history books. That's just the way it happens. So you could demonize.
Not necessarily true.
And how is that not necessary?
The Union won the Civil War, yet they didn't write the history book. Now you were taught that the war was about slavery when it wasn't.
Yes, that is true.
And that's not what the Union was fighting for. And but yet the war was not, the history wasn't written by the victor of that war.
Mm-hmm.
The history is written by the people who have the means to write the history.
And who has the means to write the history books?
People in positions of power, like the Illuminati.
Is it not good to want to preserve intellect and actually
If the Illuminati has
progress the
been in
world?
positions of power for all these years, how come they haven't in a better place yet?
There's trial and error.
So basically, the Illuminati doesn't know. They have to do trial and error.
Well, that's isn't that any system that has trial and error?
Well, I know the American system of government has served us well.
See, that's just pride. See, you're just feeding your ego there.
It's not just pride; it's fact. That's why most of the world's government.
Is that what Jesus is going to say when he comes back? Hey guys, look, I've got the American Constitution here. This is the most
at that
perfect
point, all the wicked
government
people,
ever.
at that point, all the wicked people and the sinful people will be wiped off and in hell, and all the people who submitted themselves to God's will be part of the new government of the New Jerusalem, and there will be no reason for an American system of government because we'll be under God's government, supreme ruler. And the American system of government was only created because man can't govern himself, and other men can't govern men.
I want to ask you something.
The laws. What is
I want
it?
to ask, why would you want to be controlled by a god who originally made mankind stupid?
Why would you want to be controlled by a god who keeps men ignorant?
That's only for the time being.
And enslave you and doesn't let you have freedom. Freedom.
He lets you have freedom. Trust me.
Oh yeah.
You just need to go along with his rules.
And if you don't go along with his rules,
well, then you're expendable.
See, I like my God a lot better because if I mess up, if I sin and go against his rules, he forgives me, and he gave me his spirit and a new heart so that I can repent. And then he forgives me. Your God is just full of anger and hatred. And if you do something wrong, you're expendable.
So have you enjoyed demonizing? Did you enjoy that?
Demonizing.
Well, that's mainly why I didn't want to debate. I just wanted to explain myself. So is there any other questions you would like to ask me so we can go on?
No. I said everything.
You said everything. Okay. Well, I have nothing else to say really, unless you want to. As I said, if you want to read out the messages I sent you, you can feel free.
I'm pretty sure we've gone over them.
We have, but you know.
So, are you done? You want to end it?
No, unless there's anything else you want to cover.
No, I'm done. Whoever has been watching, thank you for watching.
Mm-hmm.